Hi, welcome to Multicultural Lit Lesson 8. This particular lesson is going to be mostly a focus on preparing yourself for the test on Monday. And as I was working through some of the questions today, I started thinking about putting in some number of multiple choice questions or some short answer questions. And then I was remembering that so many of you are seniors and many of you are going off to college, and having a literature test that has a lot of, let's say, multiple choice questions or short answer or something like that is not really what you see when you get to college. The college questions that you normally would be confronted with are those deeper thinking questions, the critical analysis. And those are the ones that I've been emphasizing anyway in some of our discussions and some of the materials that I've given to you and some of the little conversations that we've had in class. So this particular test I decided would be doing the same thing. However, I knew that if I just gave you one essay question and you had 48 minutes to write on it, many of you would be feeling a sense of panic. So that's why you're getting a list of questions on Friday and you're having time to prepare for it and see what it is that you would like to work with. Pick those questions that you're most interested in and you feel confident that you can answer them. So a few study tips. And this was a little difficult. I hope that it will be in focus. Let it sit here for a second so you can see. First, you want to review your study guide, which you probably will have already done by the time you see this video. And pick the 3 questions that you're going to work with so that you will ignore the rest of them during your study time. Circle them. Then get yourself another piece of paper. And for each question, give yourself some space and do a mini outline. If you want to just write 1, some space, 2, 3, that would be fine. First, you'll do your claim. Many of you have encountered structuring body paragraphs this way, but you're not writing a whole essay for each question. You're only going to be doing maybe a paragraph or 2. So you're going to have claim, you're going to have some evidence, and you're going to have your analysis. Try to see that you can come up with ideas for each one, especially the claim. I would spend time actually figuring out what your claim is. What is it you're trying to prove? Look at those questions, and they are all worded in such a way that I'm aiming for you to do some deeper analysis. I've tried to make them interesting and to be a little more global, but you're going to be using the evidence from the book or the movie or Sherman Alexie's life. So you've started with your structure. Now you've worked on your claim for each one. Your evidence. You're going to go back to your book. You should take it home with you this weekend so you can do this. You're going to have your sticky notes and you're going to start looking for those spots where you might have some areas where you can put in that evidence. If it was your own book, I would be advising that you write in it like I do. But since these are school books, you should be using some kinds of sticky notes. Mark those spots so that when you come to class on Monday and you sit down and you get ready to write, you can find them quickly. You'll be able to prove to me the evidence spots that are for your particular question that you've chosen. You'll be able to write down a quotation, write down the page number. And then the analysis part, often this is a little bit trickier, so if this is an area that you've struggled in the past, you just want to think, how does my evidence prove my claim? Think of it as like a circle. Now you say, this quotation, this evidence, this scene proves, for instance, how Sherman Alexie's book incorporates some of the experiences he's had in his own life. That's an example using that first question. I think that you might benefit from actually writing out some of your analysis. I know that a studious person might actually write out all of those answers even though you can't bring them in, because it'd already be sort of in your brain and you'd be able to come in on Monday and you know exactly what you're going to write. The wording might be a little different than when you did a draft, but that's okay. It'd be like taking a first draft, throwing it out the window, but you know what was in it. However, if you don't write it down, at least verbalize your analysis to yourself or perhaps to your favorite pet at home. You could tell them what it is that you're trying to prove. Spend some quality time doing this on the weekend. Make sure when you carve out that time to do this work, you put your phone away. Like actually put it in another room. I remember watching some of you slyly taking your phone out during smoke signals and thinking, oh, I can text and still pay attention, when we know that that's not true. Otherwise, people would not be so worried about people driving and texting. So remember, having your phone out is a distraction. Turn it off. Set a timer. Move yourself away from other distractions, TV, radio, other people in your house. Put up a sign on your door if you need to. Studying. You need to really start thinking about how you block out those times that you need so that you can concentrate fully. Put your full brain at work. I want to also mention about one of the questions on there is, looks like it could be a compare contrast the movie to the book. Read the question carefully if you choose that one, because it's not an old-fashioned compare contrast. I'm trying to get you to reach for a deeper level. And then finally, I want to add this idea for you, is that on Sunday evening from 7 to 8 p.m., I'll be available online, sort of virtual office hours. So if you get stuck or if you're worried that you're not on the right track, please go ahead and send me an email and I'll be paying attention and I'll have my computer on. If anything happens, some sort of emergency on the weekend, I'll post on my website if I need to move those hours around in some way. But at this point, I don't see any problems with that. So I'll be available virtual office hours. Spend some time. Don't forget to take your book home. Don't forget to review the materials you've received in class. Definitely pay attention to any notes you took about Sherman Alexie's background, especially if you think that's one of the questions you're interested in. And be prepared. Get a good night of sleep. And let me know if you have any questions, of course. Thanks for watching.